Hello students, today we will cover the topic Zener diode and its application. We will cover the VI characteristics and learn Zener diode as a voltage regulator. In this session we will cover the following contents. We will firstly introduction to Zener diode and its symbol representation. Then we will learn the forward and reverse VI characteristics of the Zener diode and learn how the electrical equivalent model of the Zener diode is represented. Then we will cover the application of the Zener diode and we will learn the basic circuit diagram of the voltage Zener regulator circuit, and we will do the analysis of Zener diode as a voltage regulator for the three different scenarios. Case 1 for the fixed input voltage and fixed load, case 2 for the fixed input voltage and the variable load, and for the case 3 for the variable input voltage and the fixed load. So let's start with the basics of Zener diode and its symbol. Zener diode is basically invented by the American engineer Clarence Melvin Zener. It is a very highly reverse bias diode in comparison to the conventional PN junction diode. This high doping in the PN junction diode or the Zener diode makes the Zener breakdown as a very sharp breakdown, causing the current to rise suddenly in the breakdown region. The reverse breakdown of the PN junction may occur due to the either Zener breakdown or the avalanche breakdown. The breakdown voltage of the Zener diode can be controlled by controlling the doping level in the P and N-type semiconductor. So, in brief, it is a highly reversed by heavily doped silicon PN junction diode which operates in the reverse bias region or the breakdown region. If I compare with the normal PN junction diode, normal PN junction diode is designed for the applications in the forward bias region but do not operate in the reverse bias condition, while the Zener diodes are specifically manufactured for the reverse biased operations. Like Zener diode can be used as a voltage regulator to stabilize the voltage across the load. If I talk about the specification of the Zener diode has two specification mainly, that is either Zener voltage or the maximum Zener current. Instead of maximum Zener current, sometimes the maximum power dissipation is given PZM. So let's start with the symbol. This is the symbol of the Zener diode, in which this is called as the cathode terminal and this is called as the anode terminal. And this Zener diode has the specification VZ, and I have taken the PZM as a second specification. You can calculate the IZM from these two also. Now this is how the Zener diode actually looks, in which this is the cathode terminal and this is the anode terminal, and this is the specification. For example, 6 volt 30 milliwatt is telling me that this Zener diode has the Zener voltage of 6 volt and maximum power dissipation across this Zener diode is 30 milliwatt, right? So let's start with the VI characteristics of the Zener diode. So the VI characteristics of the Zener diode can be categorized into two parts. One is forward bias characteristics and the reverse bias characteristic. In the forward bias characteristic, it will behave as same to the conventional PN junction diode. Normally there is no application of the Zener diode in the forward bias region. It is not used. And another category is the reverse bias characteristics, in which it will operate in two state of operations or two regions. One, when the voltage across the Zener is less than the Zener voltage, then the Zener diode will behave as a off switch, or it is in the off state, while when the voltage across the Zener is more than the Zener voltage, it will be in the on state. Let's discuss the VI characteristics. This is the forward VI characteristics, which is exactly same as the normal conventional PN junction diode. As you can see, with the plus minus polarity across the Zener diode, it will behave just like a normal PN junction diode. I have assumed that this Zener diode is made of silicon, so this cutoff voltage is 0.7 volt. Now let's see the reverse bias characteristics. We have the Zener voltage VZ. We have divided the region for the region or the Zener voltage less than VZ. The current is almost zero, so there will be no current flowing through the Zener diode, and it will be treated as an off state. So we will replace it by a open circuit. While for the Zener voltage greater than the Zener voltage, we have Zener diode will be treated in the on state, and the current will rise suddenly, but the voltage across the Zener diode is remain constant. So in the Zener diode, the Zener diode in the on state will be replaced by a battery equal of magnitude equals to VZ. This is the Zener voltage or the specification of the Zener diode. Please note that we have ignored the effect of the Zener resistance, internal resistance, to approximate this characteristics. So Iz minimum and Izm maximum shows the range of the maximum Zener current which can flow through the Zener diode. So the first approximate model is obtained just by neglecting the effect of the reverse resistance. As I told, in the equivalent model, only a constant voltage source is used in this first approximate model, right? So let's start with the basic Zener diode regulator circuit. So let's discuss the basic Zener voltage regulator circuit. Basically, voltage regulation is a primary requirement for saving any electronic devices from the sudden rise of the current. So we need to stabilize the voltage across the diode. So for this, we use the basic Zener voltage regulator circuit. Let's see. This is the basic Zener regulator circuit, in which this is your input voltage. This is the series resistance. This is the load resistance, and this is the Zener diode which is put in the parallel with the load resistance, and it will act as a voltage regulator. This Zener diode is also called as the Zener diode as a shunt regulator, as it is kept in parallel or in shunt with the load resistance. Besides that, Zener diode has its own specification denoted by Vz, or out of the IZM and PZM, one parameter or specification will be given. So if the IZM is given, you can calculate the PZM, and if the PZM is given, you can calculate the IZM. IZM is the maximum Zener current, and PZM is the maximum power dissipated across the Zener diode, right? So there we will study the or do the analysis of this Zener regulator circuit for the three scenarios. First, for the fixed input voltage and fixed load, that is both Vi and RL is fixed, it is not going to be changed. Case second, in which there will be Vi will be fixed, but the load resistance will vary. We will see what is the effect on the effect on the circuit when the load will be very load is fluctuating, and we will see what will happen when only the input voltage is varying or the input supply voltage is fluctuating and the load voltage is constant, load is constant, right? So let's discuss the first case, in which the input supply as well as the load resistance are fixed. This is the basic Zener diode regulator circuit, in which you need to find these five unknown parameters. VL and IL are the voltage and current across the load resistance. VR and IR is the voltage and current across the series resistance, and IZ is the general current across the Zener diode. So first you need to step is you need to determine the state of the diode, whether the Zener diode is operating in the on state or off state for giving Vi, R and RL and IZ. These for these DC conditions, what is the state of the Zener diode? For that, you first need to remove the Zener diode from the circuit and find the voltage across this V, right? So it can be easily found by applying the voltage division rule, as V is equals to RL upon R plus RL into Vi, right? So now compare the value of the V with the Vz. You will get two cases: either V will be comes out to be less than Vz, or it comes out to be more than Vz. So let's discuss the first case. Suppose V comes out to be less than Vz, then 100% Zener diode will be operating in the on state, as there will be no flow current flowing through this Zener diode. So we replace it by the open circuit. As you can see, this is the Zener circuit, and you have replaced the Zener diode by the off state. It is open circuit. As soon as this Zener diode is in off state, you can easily calculate these unknown parameters by applying the KVL and KCL. So as soon as the Zener diode is in off state, IZ current will be equals to 0 milliampere, because it is the open circuit. This is the first unknown parameter we have find. Now what you can find easily, you can easily find the voltage VL, which is VL is the voltage across the load resistance RL, which can be same as the voltage across the we have calculated V is equals to RL upon R plus RL into Vi, which is same as V. So VL is equals to RL upon R plus RL into Vi. You know the value of VL and RL. You can easily calculate the value of the load current IL as VL upon RL, right? So once you know the value of VL and RL, you can now find the value of VR and IR. So VR can be found by applying the KVL in the circuit. Vi minus VL is equals to VR, right? So it is a difference between the input voltage and the load voltage. And now the current IR is the same voltage current flowing through this resistance R, that is VR upon R. As you know, VR is equals to Vi minus VL, so we can write the alternative formula for the IR is equals to Vi minus VL upon R. So let's discuss the another case when voltage V comes out to be more than the general voltage, that is V, if the V is greater than Vz, then Zener diode will be operating in the on state. And we know that once the Zener voltage across the Zener diode is more than the Zener voltage, then it will be replaced by a battery of equal to magnitude of the Vz. So this is the circuit in which I am going to replace the diode with the Zener voltage battery with magnitude Vz. Right, this is the replacement. As you can see, at the cathode side we have the plus terminal, and the minus sign we have the minus terminal. So this is the circuit. Now basic for this electrical circuit, you can easily find this unknown parameter by applying the KVL and KCL. So these are the given parameter in as per showing in the figure. Now first unknown parameter you can easily calculate is the load voltage VL, which can be easily find as VL is equals to Vz. Right, once you know the value of the load voltage VL, RL is given, so you can easily find the value of the load current IL as VL upon RL. So now you know the value of IL in VL. Now for this series resistance, you can easily apply the KVL in the output loop and find the value of VR, as VR is the difference between the input voltage VI and the VL. Right, so VR is can be found as VI minus VL. Once you know the value of VR, R is given, you can find the current across the series resistance as VR upon R, or alternatively VI minus VL upon R. So you know the out of the 5 parameter, 4 are you have calculated. So the fifth parameter, that is Iz, can be calculated by applying the KCL at this node. That is IR is known, IL is known. You can easily find the value of general current as IR minus IL, right? And please note that this general current should be comes out to be less than the specified maximum general current of the Zener diode for the safe operation. Additionally, one parameter will also be calculated, that how much power this Zener diode is dissipating for this given conditions. That it can be found as by multiplying the general voltage with the general current. Again, this PZ should be comes out to be less than the PZM. Otherwise, the Zener diode will be permanently break down. Right. So let's discuss the second case. So let's discuss the second case in which the input supply is fixed and the load is fluctuating. So the unknown parameters for this case are the minimum and maximum value of the load resistance, minimum and maximum value of the load current, the load voltage, the voltage and current across the series resistance, and the Zener current. So for minimum value of the RL, for which the Zener diode will be on, will give me the minimum value of the load resistance. So first we need to find the value of the minimum value of the load resistance. Too small value of the load resistance will not make the Zener diode in the on state, it will be in the off state. So to find the minimum value of the RL, just remove the Zener diode from the circuit and find the value of the V using voltage division rule as in previous case, as V is equals to RL upon R plus RL into VI. So RL minimum can be calculated as that value for which this V becomes Vz. Right, the RL gives minimum value of the RL is that value of the load resistance for which the voltage across the Zener diode will become the Zener voltage. That is, V is replaced by the Vz, and RL will give me the minimum value of the load resistance. So the minimum value of the load resistance can be calculated as RL minimum is equals to Vz upon Vi minus Vz into R. If the load resistance value is less than minimum value, the Zener diode will be 100% in the off state. So you need to find the rest unknown parameters, right? So once you know the minimum value of the load resistance here, RL minimum is known. Since you can easily find the voltage across the load, right? So first you know by applying the KVL and KCL, you can easily find these parameters. So once the Vz is known, you can easily calculate the load voltage. This is the voltage regulation action. So VL load voltage can be calculated. It is same as the general voltage. That VL is equals to Vz. Right. Now once you know the value of VL and the RL minimum value is known, you can calculate the maximum value of the load current. As you know, IL is the load voltage upon the load resistance. So when the load minimum is there in the denominator, it gives me the maximum value of the load current. So VL is same as the Vz, so IL maximum is equals to Vz upon RL minimum, right? So now calculate the RL maximum in the next slide. slide. So we have calculated the minimum value of the load resistance RL minimum. It will make sure that for all the values of load resistance more than this minimum value of the load resistance RL minimum, the generator will be in the on state. So we can easily calculate the other parameters by applying the KVL and KCL. Let's find the series resistance, that is VR. It is nothing, it is the difference between the input voltage and the load voltage, right? Load voltage is same as the general voltage, so VR can be given as Vi minus Vz. Since both the quantity at the right hand sides are fixed, so the VR or voltage across the series resistance is a fixed quantity. Once the VR is given, divided by the R, you will get the series resistance current, that is IR. VR upon R. Since both quantities are fixed, you get the series resistance as a fixed quantity. Now apply the KCL equation and find the general current equation. It is IZ is equals to IR minus IL. Since the first quantity IR is fixed quantity, so this fixed quantity will helpful me to calculate the value of the IL minimum, right? So when you have already calculated the maximum value of the IL, so we will substitute, when the IL is substituted by the maximum value of the IL, right? You are subtracting the maximum value from the fixed quantity, you will get the minimum value of the IZ, right? So IZ minimum can be given as IR minus IL maximum. Now to obtain the minimum value of the load current, replace the IZ by the maximum value of the IZM. Since we have this current equation, IL is equals to IR minus IZ, right? So IR is a fixed quantity. When you subtract the maximum value from the fixed quantity, you will get the minimum value of the right hand side, that is load current, right? So IL will be minimum only when the IZ will be the maximum. And what will be the maximum value possible for the general current? That is IZM. It is given from the specification of the general diode. So when you replace the IZ with the maximum general current IZM, you will get the value of the IL minimum. Once you have the value of the minimum value of the load current, you can easily calculate the maximum value of the load resistance as RL maximum is equals to VL upon IL minimum, right? So VL is, as we know, VL is equals to VZ, so RL maximum is equals to VZ upon IL minimum. So this is all about the second case. Let's discuss the third case. So let's discuss the third case in which the load is fixed but the input voltage is fluctuating. So the unknown parameter for this circuit or for this case is the minimum and maximum value of the input voltage, minimum and maximum value of the voltage across the resistance or the current across this series resistance. The load is going to be fixed, so the voltage is going to be fixed here. So first you need to find the value of the Vi. So to find the minimum value of the Vi, which makes this generator to be in the on state, you just use the previous methodology as in case 2 or case 1. So just replace the diode and find the value of V, as we already know that V can be calculated as RL upon R plus RL into Vi. Calculate the input voltage value Vi in terms of the V. Vi is equals to R plus RL upon RL into Vi. Now the value for which this voltage across the general diode will become Vz will give me the minimum value of the input voltage Vi. So if I replace this V with the general voltage Vz, right, and this bracket quantity is constant, you will get the minimum value of the input voltage, that is Vi minimum is equals to R plus RL upon whole RL into Vz. Since R and RL this complete bracket is a constant quantity, and this is also constant quantity, you will get the value of the minimum value of the Vi. Since you have the availability of minimum value of the Vi minimum, so you can easily calculate the IR minimum, because at the minimum voltage, the voltage current which is flowing through this resistance is also the minimum. So the IR minimum can be easily calculated as Vi minimum minus the fixed value, that is load voltage, upon the value of the R. Right, Vz is a since load voltage is same as Vz, which is the regulation action. So Vi minimum minus Vz upon R, as you had already calculated in the previous case also. So this gives me the VL is equals to Vz. Now to get the value of the maximum value of the input voltage Vi maximum, the current is limited by the maximum value of the general current, right? So we know in terms of the resistance, just apply the KVL equation, and we have this current equation that as soon as the current equation we have is IR is equals to IL plus IZ. Since the load resistance is fixed, right, and the voltage across the load resistance is also fixed, so the IL is also going to be fixed, right? So load current is also fixed. Once the load current is fixed, so IR will be maximum only when the IZ will be maximum. So to make the right hand side maximum, I can replace the IZ by the maximum value of the IZM, which is the possible value of the general current. So this IZ when becomes IZM, it gives me the maximum value of the series current, that is IR maximum. So IR maximum is equals to IL plus IZM. Once I have the value of IR maximum, once we have the maximum value of the current, I can find the VR maximum as VI maximum is equals to IR maximum into R plus VZ. Right. So we know the value of the IR maximum, that is current through the series resistance, maximum current through the series resistance. So VI maximum is equals to VR maximum plus VZ. So this is the range you can easily find with the case, that is when the input is fluctuating. This is for all for this session. Thank you very much.